If you are someone who's looking to start your own cloud kitchen someday or are curious to just know about this space, this video is for you. I'm Tanay Agarwal and today we are at rotiwala.com.
When we started first, we were doing only chapati. I and my wife was the first employees of my company. She used to make the balls and I used to make the chapatis.
There's hardly any order in a day which will not have a roti.
How many rotis is he making every day?
So around 2,000 to 2,500. So in the morning around 11 o'clock, we start this both tawa and I think till 1 in the night, it's on.
If we want to grow, you will have to grow some other way, not the conventional way. And that's how we got into the model of cloud kitchen, ghost kitchen we used to call at that time. Including this kitchen, I do around like 60 to 62 lakhs. So somebody who wants to start the cloud kitchen, first they will have to find out where the gap is. And you have to address a problem. Like in our case, we address roti.
We wanted to understand your story behind what Rotiwala is today.
I was finding it difficult to find food. And when you try to find food in a city where nobody knows you, you try to find food which you are familiar with. I was not getting it, so that was a pain point which I wanted to address myself and people who are like me.
So how did you start reaching out to people in the initial days? What was the initial marketing like?
We opened at a place where there was already a lot of youth used to come. And
Which area was this again?
That was BTM second stage only.
Okay.
And we thought that this place will help us to grow initially.
Got it.
And which did help. And then we did a lot of SMS. Those times SMS used to run well. If you remember 2016, right? And then we do WhatsApp was very initial. Then we did pamphlets and that gave us primary boost to the business.
Initially, you would have needed a good amount of budget also to market your product. You would have also needed some amount of budget to procure your machinery as well as set up your first kitchen.
Right. There were friends of mine who were supporting me in terms of boosting my business and in terms of money as well. So a friend funded half of amount and half of amount was mine. It was roughly 10 lakhs.
Okay.
Okay, so 5
10 lakh was the total investment.
Total amount with which we started.
Got it. So what was like your initial few months like in terms of business?
Now, when we did first 3 months or 6 months maybe, we realized that there is a number of set of people who are coming and taking it every day and you are not clocking beyond a number. Now, at that time, Zomato happened to us.
Okay.
We realized at that time itself that if we want to grow, you will have to grow some other way, not the conventional way.
Right.
And that's how we got into the model of cloud kitchen, ghost kitchen we used to call at that time. So we got into that model and then we saw the growth.
What would the growth numbers be in the first 6 months?
So first,
before Swiggy, Zomato, you onboarded them and after the initial onboarding?
it was in numbers, if you take, it was around 1 lakh.
Okay. Of revenue you were making?
Of revenue, everything. When we took the Zomato for the first month, we did 27,000 extra.
Okay.
Okay, so
30% extra.
30% extra we got. Then again, next 6 months, if we are talking about June next year, which is 17, it become doubled.
If I have to ask you, what is your USP, your unique selling point in one line, what would it be?
It would be daily and affordable food, which is healthy, hygienic and homely. That's also our tagline.
Understood. What I have seen is that people usually open specialty restaurants that they anchor upon 1 or 2 special products. But what I have seen through your menu is that you have a whole variety of products catering to different people. So talk us through why that menu was designed that way.
So what we eat at home is derived from that. Earlier it started with roti, fulka and rice, dal, sabzi. And then we realized people need a little bit of Indian Chinese and we incorporated that. It's net whatever you can wish and will for a home meal that we have started incorporating.
Alright, if someone wants to start a cloud kitchen today, how much rent, equipment cost, operational cost, staff salary, etc. do you think it would be needed in order to start their own cloud kitchen?
Yeah, so if you want to start a cloud kitchen like this, first you would need capital. You decide whether you have capital or you want to take the funding.
What is the amount of capital someone
I would say you should have around 20 lakhs in your pocket.
Okay.
Right? When you start. For this kind of operation would require say around 1,000 SFT.
Okay.
1,000 SFT and that rent would be somewhere between 40 to 60,000 per month. Staff salary should not exceed the 10% of your total what you are looking at to earn. And Swiggy and Zomato will easily take away around 40% of what your top line revenue is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Because
they take away 40%. I heard that. the
Yeah, so
industry-
I'll break it that
Yes.
further. It is not the only commission. It is the commission, say around 25%, then 2% bank transfer charges, 1.8% TCS. Then you will have to spend some or other thing to be on the top.
Got it.
You have to buy the marketing products from
Right.
them,
What are the kind of revenues you generate on a month-on-month basis currently?
including this kitchen. I do around like 60 to 62 lakhs
Okay.
on a
Out
month.
of
That's
which-
top line I'm saying.
Understood. Out of
We are
which,
not talking about
what is
saving.
the split between online versus offline?
It is 80% online
Okay.
and 20% takeaway plus dining.
Understood. If Rotiwala is fulfilling an online order worth 100 rupees, what will the unit level economics look like?
When we are selling 100 rupees thali, 20 to 25% is the food cost. Now you are left with 75%. Out of that, we will have around 28 to 30% Swiggy or Zomato ka, commission plus the tax. And then you are left with 40-45%. Now out of this 40-45%, you have got salaries to manage.
Got it.
You have got rental to manage. You have got your electricity to manage. You have got your day-to-day capex to
Right.
manage. Then you will have the discoverability we spoke about, CPC. That goes 10 to 16%. Now, when you deduct all those, you will be left, say, around 8 to 12%.
8 to 10% EBITDA.
EBITDA.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you pay tax on that. So you are left with, say, around 7 to 10%.
7 to 10% would be your net profit.
Net profit in the cloud
Got
business.
it. Where do you see Rotiwala in the next 5 years? What's your vision and trajectory?
Now we are growing in branches, and we will have those items in those branches which can have an SOP. We have got recipes for that which could be easily replicable, and we will have only those items which can be cooked easily and then which can travel a lot. So that's how our plan is. We have one branch right now, as of now, in Banshankari. We are planning to open 3 more in next coming 6 months, which is HSR, Koramangala and Hyderabad.